Hi guys, so a slightly different video than the ones I normally put out. This is going to be done live. Wanted to get a really quick video out now because this particular live stream I'm going to talk about is still going on. This is Antonio Subirats' live stream, which he's made as a rebuttal to Wolfie 6020's video, which in turn was a rebuttal to Antonio Subirats. So Wolfie made this observation a month or so ago, on March the 10th. He recorded this from the head-up display of his cockpit, and this is the moon, the crescent moon here, and as you can see, it is below the horizontal, below level. This could never happen on a flat Earth. There's no way the moon could ever appear below horizontal. In fact, if you're on the ground at this point, the moon would have already set because it is below the level of horizontal. Below horizontal. The only way we can see it is because the plane is high up, and so we're seeing further over the curve of the Earth. So Antonio had a real problem with the position of the moon. He's kind of shrugged off the fact that it's below level. What his real issue is the position in relation to west over here. So let's look at a little bit of the stream. We'll get an idea of what's going on, and then we can talk about it.
Extract the flight path log.
Good heavens, that doesn't look like turning directly west, does it? Do you remember when we just looked at Google Earth and we saw this kink? Where was it? This due west. Well, in the more legit version, it's not quite due west, is it? No, it's due, well, a little bit south of west. Can you see? Straight to the left would be due west. Left and down a little bit would be southwest.
Okay, so Antonio has an issue with the direction of the line. Now, this is a screenshot that Wolfie put on his video. There's no other information there. There's nothing to show which way is north, south, east or west. There's no further information on the orientation of the map, whether we're looking at a flat Mercator map or a zoomed in representation of the globe. There's really none of that information there, so trying to ascertain exactly which direction the plane would have been facing at this point is completely pointless without that further information. I'm sure Wolfie can supply it, but I don't know, and nor does Antonio, so it's completely irrelevant.
But let's continue.
Website for our trip. And there you can see, just prior to making that right turn, again, we have the 10th of March, 05.
We can see, didn't quite make a right-hand turn.
Okay, we know this is irrelevant, so let's skip on a little bit.
Let's see how it definitely doesn't, but before then, just to disguise that it doesn't, let's sidetrack to this, which is what he's done. He just said, let's go to Munkak, but first let's not.
So looking at the footage again, let's see if we can determine what we expect to see.
We expect to see west and the moon southwest by about 7 degrees, I'd say. This mark would be 5 degrees. This is 260. This is west, 270. 270, 265, 260. This would be around 263, give or take. So we would expect to see the moon southwest.
So here's the real crux of Antonio's argument here. The head-up display, which uses a magnetic compass, shows the moon slightly south of west. However, later on in the video, when Wolfie shows his location and the position of the moon according to MoonCalc, the globe prediction of where the moon should be, then the azimuth of the moon, its compass bearing if you like, is 277 degrees, which is slightly north of west. So there appears to be a discrepancy. Let's see what Antonio says about this.
0.79 degrees. Moon azimuth. Here's west. Well, Wolfie's moon was like in this direction. Did you see? Did you see?
Looking at mooncalc.org, and I have entered the aircraft's position precisely. I have also set the date to the 9th of...
But I've forgotten to keep azimuth in mind. You see, Wolfie, you're a dim-dim. You really are. You are. When you're dealing with somebody like me and many other flat earthers who are not quite so dim, we're going to look at the whole thing. We don't compartmentalize like you do. Oh, look at the moon's elevation. How about the moon's azimuth too? The moon's azimuth completely contradicts the real world. You know, like if the camera footage is the real world, well, the moon's azimuth here contradicts it.
Okay, so according to Antonio, Wolf is a dim-dim, and there's this obvious discrepancy between the moon that should appear north of west and the moon that Wolfie saw, which appeared slightly south of west. Let's just skip on to his little diagram, which explains it quite nicely.
Somehow this must have been going on. Okay, real position of the moon, Wolfie's heading west, globe prediction of the moon. Can you see how it's like not the same place? This is the moon as it was seen and filmed by Wolfie, thanks to his cockpit instrumentation showing us where west was. This is what must have been Wolfie's heading. Can you see? To catch the moon here on his display by Wolfie.
So there we go. There is as you can see, around about 13-degree discrepancy between the where the globe prediction says the moon should be at 277 degrees and where Wolfie saw the moon at 264 degrees. And because of that discrepancy, Antonio thinks the whole thing is fake, that Wolfie's lying, that his position was not where it says it was, or the date wasn't what he said it was, that he's faked the footage. Now, Antonio said that us globelings, as he calls us, don't look at the big picture, that we compartmentalise and only look at one little thing and ignore everything else. I'm going to flip that back and say that, Antonio, you've done exactly the same thing here. You've looked at one discrepancy, one thing that doesn't make sense to you, and you've run with it. I'm going to just destroy what you're saying here by using two words: magnetic declination. Magnetic declination is the difference between true north, which is the axis of the Earth, or the northern axis of the Earth's rotation, and magnetic north, the position of the magnetic pole. These are two different places. Your compass will point to magnetic north, but maps are oriented to true north. Maps are always oriented to true north because magnetic north changes. It does change over time. Even from year to year it can vary a little bit. So there's no point creating a map with that points to magnetic north. So let's have a look at a proof of this. Here is Wolfie's approximate location in his plane. This is a map that you can use to click anywhere you like, and it will tell you what the magnetic declination will be. So just here is around where Wolfie was, a little bit west of San Francisco. And as you can see, the magnetic declination there is 13 degrees, and it's positive towards the east. So that means that the magnetic north is 13 degrees further towards the east than true north. So let's have a look and see how that translates onto an actual map. So here's a map of from mooncalc. This is a screenshot from Wolfie's video and from Antonio's live stream. Here's his location, and here's the position of the moon, slightly north of west, according to the map. This is true north. Magnetic north, however, is around 13 degrees further to the east, which is over here. And if we rotate this around so that the compass bearings on this map point to magnetic north, And as Antonio said in his stream, he acknowledges that Wolfie's compass is a magnetic compass. He even writes it on his piece of paper, magnetic west. There's around about a 13-degree rotation, just done by eye, but as you can see, west on the compass is now over here. So the moon is going to appear slightly south of west. In fact, if we go back to Antonio's little diagram, and remember that the difference here that Antonio himself has drawn on is 13 degrees. The magnetic declination at that point is 13 degrees. So once again, there's a prediction that we can make with a globe Earth model, which completely matches the observation that was made by a pilot on a plane. So I have nothing more to say. Antonio, you're wrong. I've shown you're wrong, and I think it's time for you to accept that and, I don't know, maybe apologise to Wolfie. Okay, take care everyone. I'll see you soon.